Hello, honey, I'm home. Honey? Oh, hey, Teddy. Oh, okay. Hello. Hi. Welcome to another episode of CrashBandicootPlush talks about. Please insert random topic to talk about in the title. And I've been thinking about talking about this for a while now, and that is, well, I could well, let's go in many separate ways. Either I can talk about adults and their kids roam free on the internet, poor adult supervision, actually like adult supervision, which is probably no longer a thing really, because again, kids roam free on the internet without adult supervision and all that other stuff. I wouldn't really be surprised about this, and I know that today's generation of adults is not really as intelligent as I expect. Taking care of their kids, that's why. I mean, if you're asking why I said that, it's because, well, I don't think they're good parents, really. Because one thing that has been on my mind for a while, like letting your kids do anything they want, and they're not satisfied until you give them what they want. And one thing that bothers me, I and I bet none of you will really like it that much. Well, how can I say it? Letting your children roam free on the internet is the worst idea you've ever thought of. There. Boom. You don't have to be bored for like the next 30 minutes or so. So now let's get into the topic. Now, again, I'm really bothered by this because of how adults, again, let their children roam free on the internet. Like, for what purpose? Because they found something hilarious? Yeah, I guess you can say that. Or they found something that they're so addicted to, they can't let go. And trust me, if they don't let go of it, then, well, the adults are screwed. I'm not kidding. Like, think of it like this. It's bad enough to let your children go on the internet. Because this is why we have, like, let's see, memes that are getting, like, overused, and probably the reason why the SML fan base is the most cancerous out of all of any fan base on the internet in general. And it's not just YouTube, it's not just Twitter, it's everywhere. The entire internet in general. You heard me. You heard me out. And I also heard there was actually a news article about Jeffy. I wouldn't be surprised, really, and actually kind of was. I was literally laughing at this because of how pathetic it was. It's like a child doing something he's not supposed to. You've got to be kidding me. He got inspired just to kill himself? That's insane. Now, before I continue talking, for those who love Super Mario Logan, I respect your opinion. I am not hating on you whatsoever in any other circumstances. I I may not be a big fan of SML anymore, and I stopped watching him like about see almost a year ago, from what I know. I mean, still, I respect your opinion, regardless if you like SML or not. I mean, I'll respect your opinion, again, if you like SML or not. Anyways, let's get back to this topic. Now, yes, kids will get inspired by some like the bigger YouTubers and what they do. Like either if it's Super Mario Logan having Jeffy do something completely random, or like what was it like? Let's see, trying to become like the next Markiplier, which, well, I don't really see that happening for some people anytime soon. Excuse me. And doing some crazy and random skits like PewDiePie, just get that out of the way. And some other stuff. Oh my god, the Tide Pod challenges. That just shows that these kids are trying to get sick. Or quite possibly kill themselves. I don't know. It may sound like I don't care, but, I do care for the children. Just the parents, like, you've got to be kidding me. And, well, if you mentioned Crossover Fanatic, the Tide Pod challenge, and it being ridiculous for kids to go roaming free on the internet, I'd actually would agree with you. I actually agree with you on that. I mean, kids' minds are like a sponge. They will absorb anything that they see, and it's not going to get out of their heads anytime soon. And this is going to be a warning to all adults that, oh, yeah, yeah, I'm all right. Sorry about that. Give me a sec. All right, back to what I was saying. Oh, this is something I can actually agree on, Sonic the Hedgehog fan. Like, if a kid searches up something inappropriate, like you mentioned, porn, you're dead. Yeah, the adults are dead. Yep. If they see something regarding sex, you fucked. I don't know what to tell you, adults. Okay, if I were to have kids, that might be a little bit different from your children, if you ever have any kids with Joe, that is, Celine. Just saying. Oh, and speaking of Joe, hey, Joey. Anyways, as I was saying, again, kids' minds are like little sponges, don't forget that. And again, they will absorb all the information that they see. They will absorb anything that they watch, hear, look at, etc. And who's that to blame? Oh, it's not the kid's fault. It's the adult's fault. Oh, give me a gotta take a little bit of a brief little intermission. It's not gonna take that long. It's only gonna take like about a minute or two. It's in the air because, well, it's almost Valentine's Day. Don't ask why. Got all that out of the way. One more thing. This will only take like about a minute, and trust me, I will be back. Okay, I'm finally back. Sorry if that. Okay, now all jokes aside, yeah, I brain farted. I'm just kidding. But seriously, back to what I was saying. Now, if kids were to absorb information, it's basically either a good thing or a bad thing. It depends. If they're watching a show that is actually age appropriate, it's actually considered to be, well, good for the child's mind, because you got to give your child some kind of little education. Like, for example, you can have your child watch, let's see, shows like, I don't know. Let's see, is there any shows I can think of on the top of my head that I used to watch when I was a kid? Oh yeah, let's see. I got a few. Like, it's age appropriate for like children to watch shows like either if it was like Caillou or Dora the Explorer. And other shows like either if it was let's see, Wow Wow Wubsy, and I don't know if that's still around on Nick Jr. Yeah, shows like SpongeBob. Thank you, Elaine. There's also some other shows that are kid friendly. Like, let's see, I know ooh, yeah, that's all I can think of. I don't want to waste any more time here. Yeah, anything that's age appropriate for your child or children. But do adults think about that nowadays? Well, the majority of them probably don't, and they really don't care what their kids watch, and they will, and one thing that they will do is complain if the kids get inspired by some kind of something that'll do something that'll be like really deadly to themselves or the or the entire house. Like, for example, burn down the house. That's not a good thing. It's a really bad thing. It's the worst idea you could ever think of as a kid. And this is actually a really sad, but when it comes to adults nowadays, they really don't think about their lives, because all they ever care about is just like, enjoying life while it lasts, yada yada yada. It's like, oh, who cares about our children? They can grow, they can take care, they can uh, do whatever they want. I mean, we're still gonna feed them because we at least care for them. At least care for them, but you gotta care for your children more often, like almost every day. And the older they get, like one thing I recommend to you adults: do not be that overprotective. If you're going to be questioning me, do you have an overly protective mother? Well, I do, but it's not that overly, but she's not that overly protected. Like, for example, she couldn't trust me playing Mortal Kombat because felt like I would do some things in real life. But since, you know, Christmas 2017, she trusts me to play Mortal Kombat because she knows, like, damn cat. I am getting distracted today. Like, easily distracted by either the cats or doing stuff. I don't know. I don't even know anymore. I just don't. I do apologize for the short little interruption. Again, cats as always. Let me read this real quick. Most definitely, Elaine. I mean, at least you'll be like a good parent to your children, when you get a little older. And I also want to, like, if I were to have kids myself, I would never let them go on the internet without adult supervision because if they find something inappropriate, I'd be like, nope, that's a no-no. Sorry, but you're gonna have to wait but I'm sorry, but you cannot watch this until you're older. If it's, porn, I'm never gonna let them watch that. It's want my computers to get viruses? Hell no. Of course not. That's why you always gotta have adult supervision. But is that really a thing nowadays? Do adults really supervise the children of what they watch or go on the internet? Of course not. That's the simplest answer you can ever get. Do adults ever supervise their children of what they watch um or what websites they go on look at on the internet? No, of course not. I mean, those adults are not smart, and those kids don't know any better. The adults need to realize that. But they don't. They don't care. Well, just lovely. Downloading games, well, I know everything has a virus, but as long as it's like not that big to worry about. I mean, my grandfather did say to me everything does have a virus, but I'll believe it when I see it. Oh yeah, ads are not part of the internet history. The actual websites are. I mean, the advertisements are just they're just stuff that makes you interested in those kinds of let's see if it was like a product or if it was a game. Like, for example, if it gets you interested, like if you were to like if there was like a little advertisement of either Coca-Cola or a video game like Overwatch or Tekken, Insane Trilogy, etc. I mean, there will be advertisements of those. Let me answer this real quick before I get back to today's topic. For Medieval Remaster, I never played the series. Never did. Never heard of it. Just to point that out, Sir Daniel Bandicoot 97. I never got into the series. Sorry. Just saying. Alright, now back to what I was saying. there will be some advertisements of either products or if it was games or apps. It depends. But if there's a really inappropriate website, there's gonna be an inappropriate ad, and only on those websites. Oh yeah, that's something that we don't want. That's another thing. Like if kids become too addicted to the internet and the adults are trying to get the children off the internet, like off the computer in general, you probably see what they're like looking at or whatnot, which I bet they can from a distance. Excuse me. It depends on the distance if they can see it or not. But if the kids are trying to hide it, well, again, either A, they'll probably find out sooner or later, or B, they'll probably find out once they walk into their children's room. Before I get back to that, I do have to agree with you, Elaine, because what if you have something to do on the computer? I mean, oh well. Oh, there's the ridiculous solution. Get a computer or laptop for your child. Well, that's not the case. Because again, adult supervision, that's what you gotta worry about. But again, do adults worry about their children going on the internet that much? Not so much, really. They don't care at all. They don't give a damn. And this is why, if you're trying to tell your kids to get off the computer or something in a nice and calming way, they're gonna yell and scream at you. But what are you gonna do about it, adults? Are you just gonna stand there and do nothing? Or take action? I'd say I'd take action if you ask me. And no, not in a violent way whatsoever. Nothing violent. Just do it just do it in a way your kids are going to learn a lesson. Because otherwise, if you're just going to let them sit on the computer, then guess what? It's not going to make the situation any better. It's going to make it worse. Because again, those kids are on the internet, and the one place you should never really trust your children is almost everywhere. And it's not just the internet, it's also everywhere in general. I mean, is there anything else I can say? No? Do you have anything to say yourself, adults? Do you think it's right for kids to go on the internet and roam free? If you think so, then you're dumb. And one thing I want to say real quick, it's really sad to say, but and I'm going to be completely honest, because in today's world, adults aren't as smart. Let me think I was going to say. Oh, yes. Today's world, adults aren't as smart, and people like me who are autistic or people with disabilities are probably smarter than adults. Yeah, that's really sad. Really, really, really sad. That's me being honest. I'm not trying to make up stories. It's just me being honest. And who would be at fault to let the kids roam free on the internet? The adult's fault because there's no adult supervision. When the kids are younger, you have to have adult supervision. It's required. It's a requirement to make sure that your kids are going on kid friendly or age appropriate websites until they're older. Like until then, like you have to let your kids watch something that's their age, and it cannot be YouTube because YouTube is the number one place that you can never really trust for letting kids roam free on the internet because there's actually weird ass videos out there. If I mean by weird ass, there is weird ass videos. True story. Let's see, I can name a few. Let's see. If you type in either Peppa Pig or any other kid show, like either Paw Patrol, Caillou, or anything else, you'll see those weird videos of like, oh, they may be oh, they sound like they're educational, but it's actually clickbait in the most wrong way possible because, like, let's see, for example, I actually heard that there was a video once that it's like maybe it was like, kid show characters getting hurt. That's the one example I can say, and that's the biggest concern. I'd be like, I would never wanna let my kids watch that. No way. I mean, besides, YouTube is for people who are like teens and adults. It's not for children. I mean, sure, there may be some, kid appropriate videos on YouTube, but that's just a minority of YouTube, or a little bit of majority. Because knowing the majority of the internet, it involves a lot of bad stuff. So that's why I would never trust my kids to go on the internet unless they are at least 12 or 13 years older, or older than that. Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's something anyone should agree with. And I'm gonna quote you real quick, Elaine. Like I said, the videos may actually be like oh, they may look like they're innocent, but there's gotta be some bad side to it, because you never know what's gonna happen. And like Elaine said in the live chat, the thumbnails may look cute and friendly, but the videos themselves, like I'd say, like I said before a couple of times that I mentioned, could be violent as hell. Oh yeah, you'll never know when there's gonna be a random video that's not age appropriate for YouTube Kids. And one thing that nobody gets is YouTube Kids because, one thing the adults would try and get YouTube Kids, but they have never heard of it. Well, maybe you should. Well, maybe it's not like the kids or anything. Maybe YouTube should either A, advertise it, like advertise the hell out of it, or B, search up YouTube Kids in the App Store or Google Play. It's simple as that. That'd be my suggestion. Download YouTube Kids, or just don't let your kids go on the internet in general, or go on some kid-friendly websites. But one thing I'd suggest is to go on kid-friendly sites, or don't let your kids go on the internet in general until they are older. And no, not until they're 8, not until they're 9, not until they're 10. They have to be at least 12 or 13 years old or older in order to go on the internet. Because I don't trust it. I don't trust anything on the internet. I've seen some weird stuff and experienced it myself. You don't have to say to me, "Oh, there is some. Oh, like there isn't like a lot of weird stuff." Well, yes, there is. It's called the internet for a reason. Because what if you were to type in something like, I don't know, let's see, Super Mario, and you on Google Images, and you scroll on the images, trying to find ones that you really like the most, and you stumble upon something you're not supposed to. Anything you look up on Google Images, there's gonna be something weird. At least like one or two pictures. At least, or probably like more like at least 5 or 10, or even 20. You never know. This is why we have adult supervision. Because again, your kids don't know any better and they can look up whatever they want whenever they want. This is why Super Mario Logan's fan base is just like, chaotic. It's filled with children. Yep. And if people would say stuff like, oh, the reason why the news article was made because of, it's like Logan's fault or it's Jeffy's fault. Well, you can't blame the YouTuber nor a YouTuber's character. You can only blame one or two people: the adults, the parents, the guardians, aunts, uncles, probably other relatives as well if they're adults. Maybe, I don't know. Well, not making any promises, but don't know for sure. I mean, who knows? And that also includes random strangers as well, trying to sell things they're not supposed to. But it's another thing I go on the Google Images list. Fan art. Yeah, fan art that's not really appropriate for children. And again, do you really think I want my children to look at weird stuff? No, unless it is something that comes from a kid's show. And again, I would never want to let my kids on the internet until they're older. And like I said, not till they're like 5, not till they're 6. I'm going to wait until they're either about 12 or 13 years of age. That's it. Oh, yeah, definitely. Kids could type anything up, and some random fan fiction comes in and says, like, you know, like what Elaine said in the live chat, insert name here, X Reader. That could possibly happen, because you never know. And this is why here's my word of advice to the adults. Supervise your children at all times. Don't blame anybody but yourselves. Because if your children stumble upon something that's inappropriate, you're not going to blame other people. It's your responsibility, regardless if it's your child or adoptive child. Or if it's or if it's like another child you're taking care of from a friend of yours. Regardless, you gotta take care of those children. You gotta do it the right way and not the wrong way. Everything is, well, yeah, almost everything is inappropriate. So it's not just, well, like either if it was like my live stream or anybody's live streams, then with that, may include to, let's see, I don't know. I have no ideas. Uh, let's just say almost everything's inappropriate. That's just about it. And before I continue, like, if anyone's played Insane Trilogy, they know how to unlock Coco Bandicoot. They should know. You know, iCarly HD remake. Well, if I get to, well, if I talk with Jeremiah Isaiah, we might do a little collaboration together. Maybe. I'm not making any promises, but that can be a possibility. It, I don't know if it's possible or not, but we'll see how that goes. So it's basically a 50-50 chance. I hear Troll Trash like from Voice Legend, and I thought the name was funny. And Troll Trash, well, if you're mainly focusing on if you think the glitches are just bad enough as they are, then just, well, avoid the game at all costs. But if you want something that will let's see, if you want to play the game for fun, then, well, be my guest. But I did experience some glitches in Insane Trilogy, so that's a 50-50 chance. So anyways, now, back to what I was saying. I have a few more things to say before I end the stream. You know, the internet is not just one thing you should worry about for your children. It's also the games that they play as well, because who knows, they might either buy a game on the either the PlayStation Store, the Xbox Store, or even Steam, and they could just play whenever they want, regardless of their age. That's also one thing you gotta be aware of, because any game they download, well, don't forget they're using your money. So, let's see. What was I gonna think of to say? Because I do have a few. Well, I have like at least like one or two more things to talk about for this subject. Um, oh, since the live chat gave me a little bit of an idea. Before I say anything about YouTubers and stuff, you know, again, adults, you got to be aware of what your kids watch or download, because sometimes if they watch something that's not their age, like, let's see, for example, if kids watch let's see, a gameplay of Mortal Kombat and they see a few fatalities, well, that's well, you might as well just remove them from the computer immediately. Just remove them. If you think that there's anything inappropriate in general on the internet, just remove your kids from the computer or laptop immediately. And make sure you find something that's age appropriate. Okay, so let's see. Oh yeah. Kids also watching YouTubers. That's probably part of the that's also part of the topic. And I've mentioned this before. I know that kids' minds are little sponges, but whatever they watch is, well, they might get inspired from what they say, and they'll do exactly what people are doing. So that's something you got to be aware of because, again, something bad could potentially happen, and well, it's not going to be like oh, I don't know if it's going to be the kid's fault. Oh, it may be, but whose fault? Who's also to blame? Oh, yes, of course, the adults, because nowadays adults just don't think. They really don't. And this is gonna be some advice to adults since I'm going to end the stream in a couple of in about a minute. Please take good care of your kids. If you let them go on the internet, please provide adult supervision at all costs, regardless. Because if there's no adult supervision, they might stumble upon something that they're not supposed to see or look at in any circumstances. Trust me, you'll know. You'll know. And if you don't provide adult supervision, then, well, you're screwed. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, can you blame us? Can you blame me? Can you blame PewDiePie? Can you blame Markiplier? Can you blame anybody on the internet? No. You, the adults, if you let your kids watch anything that is, well, basically anything, it's your responsibility, not ours. We can't take care of your kids for you. The internet is not a babysitter. It really isn't. You want to have a better babysitter? Hire an actual babysitter and don't let the internet do all the work for you. Because again, you might come home and you see that your place is well destroyed. I mean, don't blame us for it. Blame yourselves because you, the adults, are responsible for everything your kids do. That's something I had to get off my chest. Anyways, thank you for watching this live stream. I probably rambled enough. And again, please make sure that you provide adult supervision if you ever have kids. Yeah, because again, you don't want them to stumble upon something they're not supposed to watch or play whatsoever. Just fun, just like spend time with your kids. Well, if you have kids, that is, and make sure that whatever they watch, you supervise your children. Because again, otherwise, well, if you see your kids on the internet and you want the computer and they yell and scream at you, or watch something they're not supposed to and you tell them to get off, but they'll just keep yelling and screaming at you, well, that's not our problem to worry about. It's yours. Don't know what to tell you.